Welcome to the It's in Queens podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Simmons, and this is the only podcast that focuses on Queens, the borough that has it all. This podcast is brought to you each week thanks to the Queens Economic Development Corporation and the Queens Tourism Council. They work tirelessly to showcase Queens as a destination filled with unique experiences, cultural gems, and opportunities for everyone who lives here, works here, or visits from near or far. Well, after a short break, I am thrilled to be back behind the mic, ready to celebrate anything that makes Queens vibrant, creative, and, well, let's be honest, one of the best places on earth to live, work, or dream big. Now, if you've spent any time in Queens, you know that this borough is a true hub of creativity and innovation. From artists and musicians to tech startups and family-run restaurants, Queens is bursting with entrepreneurial spirit. It's no wonder that so many people choose to launch their businesses right here in our borough. But starting and growing a business is not easy. That is where the Queens Economic Development Corporation, or QEDC, steps in. For years, QEDC has been helping local entrepreneurs turn their ideas into reality, offering resources and guidance and a supportive community. And one of QEDC's signature initiatives is the annual Startup Business Plan Competition. Now in its third year, this competition is run in partnership with Queensborough President Donovan Richards and gives aspiring business owners the chance to pitch their ideas, receive expert mentorship, and compete for funding to help launch or expand their ventures. It's a fantastic way to spotlight the next generation of Queens business leaders and to give them a real boost as they set on their journeys. The sponsors are Con Edison, Google, Queens Public Library, and Resorts World New York City. The QEDC recently announced the winners: a dance studio, a gift buying service, a mat-based hiring platform, an artisanal chocolate company, and an e-bike share program during a special event at Resorts World New York City and South Ozone Park, and each receives $20,000. So each year, I love introducing our listeners to some of the more inspiring winners of this competition, people who are shaping the future of our borough one big idea at a time. So let's get started this week. My first guest is Charles Medenilla, who won in the consumer tech category. I recently talked with Charles about his business and what lies ahead. Charles Medenilla, welcome to the It's in Queens podcast.
Hey, Jeff, how are you?
All right, everything's going well. So let us start off by finding out more about you. Talk a little about your experience growing up in Queens.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been in Queens all my life, since the day I was born. And so from Jamaica States, I've been there many, many years. And even today, where I am in Kew Gardens, I've seen transformations from the beginning to the end of there, from riding my bike and rollerblading up to Queensboro, up the bridge, seeing it from, even Jackson Heights. It's truly a place I want to live for the rest of my life. I mean, it is really the melting pot of the world for sure. And Queens has been too good to me, and I hope to be here for a very, very long time, to say the least.
And I completely agree about this being such a great borough. Let's
Yeah.
talk a little about your career and what led you to start this business.
Absolutely. So, just some fun facts. So, came from SUNY Albany. So from there, and then I was in the finance world. So I was a financial analyst for about 7.5 years. Where then, when I left, I realized that I want to be kind of almost an entrepreneur, like many people, right? Start your own thing. We then created a beverage company that was in about 450 stores at its peak. And then when the pandemic happened, I kind of started this company called ChipedIn, just seeing what's out there, better gifting, and I'm sure we'll touch upon that. But I just really felt that there was a need for what's out there, given the digital world that comes about and just people getting really bad gifts. So that's kind of how it started off.
We've all gotten bad gifts in our life. So, in fact, you've kind of touched on the next question, which is
Yeah,
the specific problem that you saw in the gift buying process that led you to create ChipedIn and
yeah.
how this platform addresses that.
Yeah, for sure. So the idea was when I was very young and still to this day. So it's kind of a funny story, but it is a real story that Eddie and I can relate to. During the holidays, almost every year, like clockwork, my family always gives me kind of almost the same gifts, and that's the true it's true thing. So my dad usually gives me a sweater that's not my size. Mom gives me a t-shirt that's not my color, and my sister gives me a gift card to usually a place that I'd never shop at. And what I do, like most people, and I feel horrible, but I do return them and I buy the gift that I really wanted. And so this has happened many, many years, and it's kind of laughable because it still happens even today. But that's kind of almost like the beginnings of Chipped In. But not only till the pandemic happened, where I saw a lot of other things that were coming about. So digital wallet, where people were more accepting to the Venmos, Cash Apps, and Zelles that we do today. And so when I kind of put that together, the other thing I spotted was I guess you could say the infancy of social media and specifically TikTok and Instagram and live gifting and everybody being on, dancing. And I said, this is where the content creators kind of took off. And so marrying those two together, I built it chipped in where you have for content creators, where they had gifts to their wish list and where their community, their followers or fans, chip in towards bigger gifts and better gifts that they really want. And that, what I've noticed was that 60% of the people out there don't even realize or can't even find the right gift. And even in the holidays specifically, $158 billion in return merchandise, just alone in the holidays. So kind of seeing this kind of pain point that I saw as a younger person and even today, but seeing that even content creators on their side, they want to get, as much as they're happy to get these gifts, they wish that they can get better gifts for their content, whether it be something as a better camera, whether it be something for a podcast that they start off, even some cosplay. There's always something that would help them not only for their fans, but for themselves as well. So that's kind of like the whole wrap of how Chipped In kind of started about.
So, for anyone who's unfamiliar, explain how it would work if we want to set up an account, if we want to get involved and connect. Because let's use me as an example, because I often get bad gifts as well, and I want to take part in this.
Yeah, yeah. And to be clear, yeah, though we do the content creators, I mean, I've had family, friends, members just sign on and use our platform because at the end of the day, everybody deserves a better gift. And so it's pretty simple, it's pretty straightforward. All you do is literally sign up, takes about 2 minutes. You create a username, and then once from there, you add the gift link to your item. And one thing that we have differently, and I know it's one of the questions I want to touch upon, is that we can add a gift from any online retailer and we become your personal shopper and purchase that gift for you. So you add your gift, and once you do that, you kind of share your link with your community. And once it's fully funded, we purchase that item for you on your behalf and send it to your, whatever registered address that you have on file. And it's really just that simple. Think of it like the GoFundMe of gifting. It's that simple where you add what you need and you have an item and then you share it with your community. They purchase it, I'm sorry, they contribute to it and then we send it off to you. And it's just that easy.
And are there other key features or innovations that you're most proud
Yeah.
of with this platform?
Many, many. So we kind of kept it to just really get people engaged. So from leaderboards that, one time somebody would put $50 and you want to be that, that person that, puts more than $50, it kind of like adds that little competition factor from fans or even family members. I've seen that many, many times. You can import your Amazon wish list. One thing that I really am proud of also is not only that we're a personal shopper, but also that we can add welcome videos and thank you videos. I think that's really exciting because you have a better chance of really reaching out to your community, letting them know why you want that gift in the first place, a little bit more of an introductory. And then when the gift is actually fully funded and you receive it, it's super cool to see the person opening their gift kind of in front of the people who've contributed and let them know kind of like a full circle, like how appreciative you are to receive that. So these are the type of things that we kind of want to evolve chipped in through like the whole gifting experience.
That's really great. And I'd love to talk about the competition because you were the winner of the 2025 Queens Tech and Innovation Challenges
Yes.
Consumer Tech category. Talk a little about how this award is going to impact the business.
Yeah, I mean, many, many, many milestones. It's just a huge milestone. What people don't actually realize, and this is for my entrepreneurs out there, we were also the finalist a few years back for the Tech Innovation Challenge. And so, when in infancy, when we first started the business, we weren't prepared, because it was just an idea. And we did lose that year, but it did really put a fire inside me, quite frankly, because it really took a step back as entrepreneurs understanding what the problem is. Are we doing the right thing? Can you take a step back? And so that kind of just really built upon that, right? So we built a better system. We started our new MVP program, and the results were huge. We got invested in by one of the biggest pre-seed investors, Techstars Accelerator. Columbia University had their consulting program. We got into their program as well for strategic marketing. And then that kind of led up to us coming back into this competition And yes, we did win, and it was just high recognition and a lot of emotions, to be quite honest, because it was a lot of that hard work to show that, things can really happen if you put all that work into it.
QEDC does this every year, and I've talked to a number of entrepreneurs in the past. They're extremely grateful about this award. How did this award make you feel?
Absolutely amazing. I've been part of the QEDC family for so long, so I wanted to make sure that I give them their flowers, from the support from, previous business to this business. They've been amazing. From Seth, Sarah, Mike, Rob, all the guys out there. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You guys obviously have been from the beginning to the end, and I appreciate you guys.
And you talked about the evolution of the business. What's next? What else is on the horizon?
Yeah, for sure. So we still have a lot of enhancements that are coming in. As I mentioned, a lot of these enhancements, but we would also like to do something like cash gifts. So for right now, we have a delivered gift service where people chip in. Once you contribute and fully funded, we purchase that item and send it to you. But we want to kind of start also opening up that avenue for people for the gifts that you can't buy. So for example, if you have a $1,000 or $500, for example, to get a studio, or maybe you have a custom outfit that you wanted to create, something of those that, or pay for the photographer or videographer. Those are the types of gifts that you can also get. You can't get the physical gift for it, but those are also for the gifts that you can, use to buy those things.
So now you mentioned a little earlier about your relatives giving you gifts in the past
Yeah.
that really were not the ones that you wanted. Have
Yeah.
they all signed up for this yet? Are they ready to get you the right gifts?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think it's interesting about what ChipedIn is, as we did our pilot programs, et cetera, from birthdays is a great example. Sometimes people give gifts just to give gifts. They don't, it might be just a gift card or it might be just money or et cetera. We try to really help out and provide meaningful gifts. And so, for example, if it's somebody's birthday where people are giving, $50 each for whatever it be, may it be a makeup set or flowers, whatever it is. But one of our friends and family actually put in a $2,000 massage chair, like one of these like really high-end chairs. And I thought it was interesting because not every day you can think of having your community, and in this case, friends and family, chip in towards a massage chair. I mean, it's not very often that you could do that, but with chipped in, it is very possible. So that instead of these little smaller gifts, though they are gifts and very obviously meaningful, but what if a more meaningful, bigger gift that you really wanted that you can cherish and know that your community helped out and put that together. And so that's really exciting about what we're building, and I hope that everybody can really join in the fun on that.
And before I let you go, please let our listeners know where they should go if they want to learn more about you and the business and how they could also get involved.
Absolutely. So it's www.chipedin.com. So that's ChipedIn.com. And we are also raising our first round of fundraising. So if you want to know what we're building or want to be a part of it, please reach out, info@chipedin.com. I'd be happy to answer any questions. We have personal shoppers and we have our team that's dedicated to even helping you get better gifts. All you need to do is sign up. And if you had just an idea of what you want, we'll definitely help you put that in your system, enter your wish list. And all you need to do is share it and get it funded, and people will contribute, and that's really it at the end of the day. Better gifting is all we're about.
And I think it's also very smart to think about this as year round, not just around the holidays
Absolutely.
at the end of the year.
Absolutely. And it's, Father Day is coming up, right? Then there's birthdays, there's housewarmings. And one thing I didn't actually mention, I forgot to mention, was that we also have private shared and as well as the public wish list. So it depends in if you were having like a wedding registry, you could put that for a private password protected that you can share it with your community. Obviously shared if it's a small, it's called gathering for holidays or even the housewarming. So we just kept an open platform so that everybody can use it for whatever gift that they need. And so, yeah, that's just the way we kind of built our system so that people can really find better ways to get better gifts.
And once again, remind our listeners about the website.
It's www.chipedin.com. So that's ChipedIn.
Charles Medenilla, thank you so much for appearing here on this week's It's in Queens podcast.
Appreciate you, Jeff. Thank you so much.
Over the next few weeks, I'm going to introduce you to the other winners in the competition. And if you want to learn more about the competition, then please make a point to visit the Queens Economic Development Corporation's website at queensny.org. Now, if you're looking for something to do this month or next, well, we have you covered. That's where Rob Mackay comes in. He's with the QEDC and the Queens Tourism Council, and each and every week he highlights some of the more exciting events that are happening in Queens. Here's this week's report.
Hey Jeff, I hope you had a great vacation and you're back with a vengeance and a vigor for life. I've got something very well, let's just say it wonderfully wacky this weekend, and it is an Alice in Wonderland tea party. Actually, two of them at the Queens County Farm Museum on Saturday, May 31st. Yes, there will be freshly baked scones with clotted cream and jam. There'll also be sandwiches, pastries, fruit, lemonade, tea, and a whole cast of characters from the famous Lewis Carroll story. There are two sessions. One's at 11:30, one's at 4 p.m. And basically, you go there, you sit outdoors in the orchard, and a bunch of characters will come up and join you. The idea is to have fun, but also make it educational for everyone, so they can learn about the book and everything else that there is to that goes along with the book and the scene and what was going on in England at the time. So I hope you can be there. Like I said, I think I can promise you White Rabbit and the Mad Hatter. I'm not sure if that baby that becomes a pig will be there, but you never know. All right. Anyway, thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, Rob. It's great to be back with you. That's just a sample of a few of the things that are happening in Queens. Remember, the place to go to discover everything that's happening in the borough is so easy to remember. It's at the It's in Queens website at itsinqueens.com. And when you're there, sign up for their newsletter so you get notified right in your inbox about opportunities. Now, when you visit any place in Queens, take a moment and snap a photo and share them with us. Make sure to use the hashtag #It'sInQueens when you post on Instagram or X, because your photo could become our photo of the week. I'm your host, Jeff Simmons, and that's it for this week's It's in Queens podcast.